answer is. Answer is we are posting this here and going like that, and Wheeze Bees live. I picked up a hitchhiker last night. He seemed surprised that I'd pick up a stranger and asked, "Thanks, but why would you pick me up? How do you know I'm not a serial killer?" I told him the chances of 2 serial killers being in the same car would be astronomical.
I love it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stream of Consciousness. I am Turtle Cube. I'm here with Turtle Dad.
I'm Turtle Dad. I'm here with Turtle Cube.
The Stream of Consciousness is Rubber Mushroom Podcast. We're back this week, 7 o'clock on a Friday.
It's still 7 o'clock on a Friday.
Live
Somewhere.
streamed. Episode 28 now.
Wow.
Ish. I approximated the number when we started counting. So.
You didn't start with 1?
Well, we didn't start counting at the beginning, so then when I started counting, you kind of just had to go back and guess.
Okay.
What?
No, it's okay.
What?
Let's go. Let's move on. That's
What?
good. That's
What?
okay.
No, tell me what. Tell me what.
Why didn't you start with 1?
Because I didn't think. Because I didn't start counting them.
Just restart.
Because it was the same podcast name,
On a new medium.
but still same podcast.
Does that really count? It's not a new podcast. It should be considered a new podcast.
No, because if I eventually get these all on like Spotify or something, it'll all be under the same name.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
Exactly. So yeah, we're here. We're live. We're back again. How was your week?
How was my week? My week was actually a bit stressful. Things kind of moving quickly, a little bit out of control, but in the end, it all worked out okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'd give on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7 week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How was your week, dear?
Busy as always. I had a nice weekend last weekend though, and had a nice couple days with my girlfriend these last couple days. So if we ignore work, it's a 10 out of 10. But because we have to add work in there, because that includes the entire week, I'd say also a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 7.7 out of 10.
Yeah, if I could factor things out, I can make it come out to pretty much anything I want.
Exactly.
Depending on which part, which part of the statistics you want to leave out.
I think I'd have to go with a 7.7 out of 10.
I think this week should be Philosophy Week.
Okay. I think we should talk about dreams.
Dreams. All right. Dream. I can sing for you.
Keep going. I like this.
That's fine.
No, keep going.
It's all I know.
Keep going.
That's all I know.
Make it up.
No,
Ad lib.
that wasn't ad lib.
Ad lib more. You can't run out of ad lib. That's not how ad lib works.
Yes, you can. A good ad lib takes 3 weeks to prepare.
That's not how
How
ad lib
so?
works. That is not
Ask
how ad lib
Who
works.
said that? I did not make that up. Someone very famous and very important said that. Who said that?
That is.
A good ad lib takes 3 weeks to prepare.
That's what Robin Williams would say.
No, it was actually. If you look up the quote, I think it's Mark Twain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That.
I mean Samuel Clemens. Wait. Yeah, him.
Which one?
Both.
Mark Twain and Samuel Clemens? Ah, okay.
I think.
I could see Mark Twain saying
I think it was
something
Mark Twain
like
said
that.
that. Good ad lib takes 3 weeks to prepare.
Didn't you also say the something about the problem with a good book is people who don't like it? Something like
Yeah.
that. But no, that's not how ad libbing works. a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there's always people like that in history where they go down in history known for just being strange. Like, Mark Twain was known for being strange.
He's also a good writer.
Yes. But when you learn about his writing, you also learn, by the way, he was really strange.
Most geniuses are.
Is he a genius?
I would consider him a genius.
I didn't like half his books.
Just because you don't like him doesn't mean he's not a genius. I don't like some art, but I think the artists are really good.
I legit think Tom Sawyer was just a badly written book.
Oh, well. Which one was that? Did I like?
Huckleberry Finn was much better.
Huckleberry Finn was better.
Huckleberry Finn was much
the
better.
sequel's always not as good.
Well, Tom Sawyer was the first.
Oh, I thought Huck Finn was the first.
No,
Oh.
Huck Finn was the sequel.
Well.
You get introduced to Huckleberry Finn in Tom Sawyer.
So Tom Sawyer was the first.
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember. It was long ago. It was high school when I read them. We're talking like probably 100 years ago, close to it.
No, I thought Tom Sawyer was a very badly written book.
It was hard to read because he used the dialect at the time.
It's not even that. He used the... I don't know, I need like ADD pills or something because just it was everywhere. The dialect was not what the problem was. It was the...
I had trouble reading because of the dialect.
No, I think the dialect was fine. I just had a problem paying attention to what the story was. Because he would just seem to be all over the place, and then like, this doesn't make any sense with that, and this paragraph just doesn't make sense. It's not written right or something. It's not the dialect, just like the wording of it doesn't make sense. It was very difficult for me to read, formatted wise.
So what are we going to talk about?
I was even talking about dreams.
Okay. I will interpret your dreams.
No.
No, I will not interpret your dreams.
Why? That's what we should start with. Why do people think we can interpret dreams? Why do we think dreams have any sort of meaning at all?
Don't know. That's all I got.
This is supposed to be a philosophy thing. Think about it out loud as to why or why not.
Why might dreams have meaning? Could be your subconscious trying to tell you something. Working on a problem that you didn't know you had, or working on a solution that you didn't know you had.
If that's the case, why do I have so many dreams about me just like freaking out because I can't tie my shoes?
Because you're probably actually freaking out about something else, and it's manifesting itself
as shoelaces.
Yeah, who knows? Could be. Could be.
How does that work?
Ask Freud.
Freud?
Probably has something to do with your parents.
Does he like blaming things on your parents?
Oh, he always does.
Okay.
Dreams have been studied for centuries. I mean, in every every culture around the world, like, people have received messages through dreams, and dreams mean something. But I don't know how it started. I mean, I guess maybe we think that there has to be a meaning to everything. It could just be the brain sorting things and filing things, which is kind of what I think it's doing.
Your brain
like,
is filing
filing stuff away. It's got like all these memories. It's got a catalog and file. Because we know if you don't dream,
yeah,
you start to have problems. You hallucinate.
Really?
Yes, you hallucinate. You can't think straight. It's not just that you're tired. You stop functioning rationally if you don't dream. I think it's like 72 hours or something like that, or if you don't dream for 3 days or something like that. You have to dream for your brain. So it's an important process your brain uses. What it uses it for, nobody quite knows. And there's also no guarantee it only uses it for one thing. It
right.
Could use it for many
could use
things.
it for a bunch of different things.
So,
what do you think it's used for? Just filing?
It's definitely used for sorting and filing.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because the brain is always active. The brain
Yeah.
never stops doing it. It's
Yeah.
always trying to match patterns. It's always trying to sort things. It's always trying to put things together. That's just what it does. When you're conscious, you've got all these inputs coming. You've got sound, you've got voice, you've got hearing and
Yeah.
video, and all these in touch and feel. All these inputs come in. Your brain's constantly parsing them and processing them.
Yep.
When those shut off, it can now go handle all the things that it pushed to the side because it was too busy, but didn't forget.
Yeah.
But it's going to deal with them, and it's going to sort them and put them in your day somewhere. Or maybe it does purge some of them. It goes, hey, we don't need this note. This has got ketchup on it, and throw it right out, you know.
That was the
And
password
so-
I needed. Never mind.
Right. So there may be some amount of purging it does, but I think in general it's always processing, and so it's using that time to process all the stuff that it didn't have time to process during the day.
Interesting.
So what got you thinking about dreams?
I've had a weird dream the last couple days. But in general, I've just been always really curious about dreams. I've never quite understood, because none of my dreams have ever seemed to have any sort of meaning to them. They're just like totally wacky. And sometimes wacky in a good way, sometimes wacky in a really scary way. But I just never understood why. I guess I've just been thinking about it more for whatever reason, but I'm just like, why in the world do I even remember? Like, I can remember some dreams, and then other dreams I can remember for like a month and then forget, and
It
then other dreams...
depends on when you wake up in your dream cycle. If you wake up close to when you're having the dream, or when it just ended, you'll remember it. But you don't dream all the time. You go through like phases of dreaming. If you wake up when you're in your dream cycle, when you're in your sleep cycle, and you're not dreaming, you won't remember what you dreamed before.
Okay.
So why do we bother to remember dreams? That I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm just filing, why do I need to remember that I was filing? My guess is it's actually probably your brain's way of processing some information, but without all of it. Right? It's got these inputs it's processing from during the day,
Right.
but it doesn't have what caused them anymore.
Right.
So it's probably like trying to interpret. Because sometimes you ever wake up, like have a dream that your arm hurts, and you wake up and your arm hurts?
Yes.
Well, did the dream cause it to hurt, or was the pain
No, I'm pretty sure the pain was there, interpreted into the dream.
into the dream?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever wake up with your heart racing, or something like that, or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, did your heart start racing and you interpreted it because like you did with the pain?
That's harder.
Or
That's
did it
harder.
start the other way?
That's harder.
I think it started the other way.
Really?
Because while your brain is active, your body is still reacting to it. The only thing that happens is your body has shut off your muscles.
Huh.
Your brain's putting out the input, putting out the signals as if it's running. If you're dreaming you're running, your brain's putting out running signals. It was just smart enough to shut your muscles off. And sleepwalking, as far as we can tell, is when your brain goes, "Oops, forgot the kill switch. We seem to be moving." Because have you ever gotten
That's
up,
funny.
done something in night, and then not remembered you've done it?
No.
Never done. I've done that. You will do that eventually.
Probably.
You'll wake up. You'll like be fully doing it, not remember you've done it, and go back to bed. And your roommate or whoever's there with you will go, "Do you know you got up and did X, Y?" You go, "No idea." How the heck did you do that without stubbing your toe if you were asleep? Right? Well, your brain was processing the room while you were doing it.
That's funny.
It just kind of forgot to tell you.
That's funny.
I've done that. I've gotten up out of bed, given somebody my car keys, and then go back to sleep. I'm like, "How'd you get in my car?" "You gave me your keys." My keys were in my pants pocket over there on the chair. Okay, you get up, dude. You gave me your keys. I asked for them. You gave it to me. You went back to bed. No idea how that happened.
That's funny.
But there's no way I could have done that with my eyes closed.
Right,
I mean,
right,
So I had to be doing it.
right.
Didn't
You
remember
just
doing
never
it.
processed
Never
it.
processed it. So
That's
that's happened many
interesting.
times. Yeah.
I can't say it's ever happened to me.
Okay, well, give it time.
Probably. My dreams never seem to be too logical. Like, there's always parts of logic in them. Like, most of the time there's people I know or
Yeah.
people I have known in the past. Sometimes there's familiar locations. Sometimes the locations seem completely made up. Sometimes I can kind of relate to be okay. I think I saw something similar in a video game at one point. Sometimes the locations are just like I've never seen that before. Why is it in my head?
Right.
Which is odd. But no, I've always been really curious about people who think they can interpret dreams or think they get messages in their dreams and stuff like that. Because if a dream is just your brain sorting things, how do you get a message through that?
Well, your brain is still processing while you're sorting. So I don't think it's ever just doing one thing. Like, you'll wake up when you hear a noise at night.
Yeah. Which means you heard the noise.
You heard it,
yeah.
your brain processed it, and it deemed it was worthy enough to wake you up.
Okay.
But you'll also sleep through stuff that someone who's new to your room or area or whatever will wake up and go, what's that? It's just the so-and-so. Because you got used and you processed it, and their brain went, what was that?
Yeah.
Right? So you're constantly processing these things. So, yeah, you can easily process stuff while you're sleeping. But not everything we dream makes sense, like, intentionally. Like, some of it is just gobbledygook. I don't think it has a meaning to it at all. It's just...
Yeah.
I just don't think it has a meaning to it.
I've always found people who say they can interpret dreams both fascinating and just like, but can you actually though?
I don't think all dreams have an interpretation. I think some do.
Okay.
But some, like, I do think that if you're really worried about a problem or working on a problem or something, your brain keeps working on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to bed just because you decided, you know, it's late, I gotta go to bed.
Sleep, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna go, yeah, you get some sleep, I'll actually do some real work now.
Interesting.
So I think we can process and then wake up in the morning with, like, a revelation of, oh, I gotta do that, or it means this, or I should do that. This is what I gotta do, you know. You've sorted it through.
Right.
So I think there are times when we can do that.
Okay.
Now, maybe those have been interpreted as messages.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just your brain processing it through. Or maybe that's how our brains were designed to do things.
Yeah.
Don't know the answer to those, but...
Interesting.
Don't know the why, but I know the what, kind of.
Alright, also, explain lucid dreams.
Lucid dreams. Have you ever had a lucid dream?
No.
I've had
It makes
dreams, yeah.
no sense to me.
Okay, so...
Especially with all this stuff that you're talking about where it may or may not have meaning.
Right.
It's organizing and stuff. But it's like, if a dream is your brain organizing something and then you start taking control of your dream, your brain's no longer organizing things.
Ah, but is it? Okay, do you know what the word lucid means? When someone is lucid, they are coherent.
Yes.
They know what's going on,
Yep.
they're active. So a lucid dream, it's almost like a contradiction, but it's like you know you are dreaming
Mm-hmm.
and are interacting with the things in your dream.
That's fine.
So I've had that happen, and it's kind of fun when you have lucid dreams because you can kind of play with them a little bit.
Yeah.
You can change them, and then sometimes your mind changes them back. It's like, no, the house is green. No, the house is red. No, the house is green.
Interesting.
You change things in dreams. And it's, you know, it's just kind of fun. It's kind of like I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming now. Okay, got it. And you just go along with the dream.
That's so weird.
But it's like you're dreaming, but it's almost like daydreaming while you're asleep.
That is so weird. I can't.
I've had lucid dreams. They are weird. I've also had dreams where I've woken up. But not woken up.
I have woken up into another dream.
And I've had recursive those.
Yes.
It's like, how many times can we do this, people?
Yes, that's the closest.
That's kind of weird.
That is the closest I've ever gotten to a lucid dream. Is at one point I knew that I was dreaming, but for some reason the only thing that I could do was try to wake myself up. And so I tried to wake myself up like 5 or 6 times and kept waking up into other dreams.
Yeah.
Which
you dreamt that you woke up, basically.
Make sense.
Yeah.
Has anybody watching had lucid dreams? I'm curious. Very curious. Because that's something that I like. It's never happened to me, so it's really, really hard for me to understand how that would work, how that would happen.
I have had. They haven't happened in a while, but I have had them. And then sometimes you know you're dreaming though, and you can't really interact with them. So like, I'm dreaming. okay,
Right.
this isn't real. I'm pretty sure this isn't real. And you're like,
Right.
but EEGs of the brain show that the brain, when you're dreaming, is actually doing the stuff that you are dreaming you're doing.
Interesting. It's very interesting. Then that can't happen all the time,
Lucid dreams?
though. No. You doing stuff that you're dreaming you're doing.
Well, no, because sometimes like the dreams don't make physical sense.
Right.
Like you're walking on water or something.
Right, or
you know,
like you're flying.
You're flying. Yeah, it's like no, that doesn't make sense. You can't actually be doing
That
that.
doesn't make sense.
But usually when you are dreaming, you're picking up something. You're actually doing that. Your brain is actually sending the signals to do that.
Now, I don't know if you've had this, but I've had this. What signals is your brain sending when you have a dream that doesn't include you?
I don't know.
Because I have had dreams that don't include me,
Yeah, I don't know.
which is super
I don't
wonky.
I don't know that it's sending any signals to your body then, because your body's not involved, and it may just be all internal, like
Right.
our brain. I don't know. I
Right.
don't know how that works. But I do know that I've woken up with my heart rate up. I've woken up with all kinds of pain, and I'm wondering, okay, which came first, the chicken or the egg here? Well,
Yeah.
in some case, I do think it was my brain acting on my body, and in some case, like maybe I'm sleeping on my arm the wrong way and it
Yep.
hurts. And okay, that's my brain interpreting that.
I've definitely done
while
that.
it's- while
Definitely
it's-
done that. Odd. Back to excellent now. Oh, back to poor.
Back to
now.
poor. Wait, come back here. How did you do?
It's excellent, then it's back
You've
down. I
upset
haven't
the
I haven't
stream.
touched anything, so I don't know.
All YouTube's fault.
Probably.
So what else we talk about? That's dreams.
That's it.
Well, no, there's more.
Alright, what else?
What else we say about dreams?
If you could do something with dreams, what would you do?
Understand them. I
Why?
just want to know what they are. I just want to know, like, am I processing something? If I'm just like processing it from, okay, great, we're processing it. We're hanging out with it. Am I trying to solve a problem?
Right.
Like maybe it's a work problem that's going on, or maybe a family problem, or
Do
something
you
that's bothering.
think-
What's my brain doing?
I think I'm not sure if I want to understand dreams.
I would.
Because think about it. Well, for humans, once they understand something, then the next step is controlling it.
Well, that's kind of a broad statement.
Why?
I'm not sure I'd want to control the dreams because,
But somebody will.
well, somebody will, and they can go right ahead and do it.
No.
But here's the reason I think it's dangerous. Your body needs that. Your mind needs that
Yeah.
to do it. So if you want to mess with it and control it, you're just screwing yourself up. Go right ahead.
Right. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. If you could figure out why or even how both, if you could pinpoint the exact why and how of people dreaming.
Yep.
I can guarantee you somebody will be like, all right, let's try and figure out how to control what people dream. So you could like control their thought processes pretty much.
Right. Someone will try that, but I think it will ultimately end in failure. Because your brain needs to do things. It's not wasting time there. It's not
Right.
if you're stopping it from doing it, it's not doing the thing it needs to do. So that's still going to cause you problems.
Right.
So maybe you can control someone's dreams for a few nights or something, but then they're like, I don't want any more part of this anymore because I'm going crazy.
You have no choice. You are now owned by Amazon.
Right, exactly. I can't dream, So I think it would ultimately kill the subject, basically.
But I mean, like, what is that goes down to what is needed from dreaming? Is it the processes that the brain is doing, or is it just the fact that you are dreaming in general? If it's just that your brain needs to constantly be doing something, if it's not doing anything, you will literally die. Then as long as you give it any sort of input, it will just chug right along.
Now that's true. Okay, now that requires a deeper understanding of what's actually going on.
Yeah,
And it goes past the theorizing we're doing now.
exactly.
So yeah, once you can answer those problems, yeah, sure.
But like in theory, if your
Yeah.
brain is just being like, dreams are there because I need to do something, otherwise you will literally die. Then you can in theory you could tap in and just have your brain do whatever.
Sure.
But that can be kind of dangerous because you could completely change the way somebody thinks
Whoops.
by just manipulating their dreams for like a month, and then they'll have a totally different mindset.
Oh, I can change the way somebody thinks easier than that. Just feed them the information I want them to have, and keep feeding them this information, and while they're conscious, and they'll just absorb it and change their thinking
Not always.
constantly.
Yeah.
Absolutely guaranteed.
Why?
Because it's been done for centuries. It's how rulers have kept people in check. That's
Okay,
how.
but
that's
like-
how,
You always have the people that don't.
there's always there's some small segment that won't.
That's
yeah,
that's
okay,
exactly
okay,
what they would do. They
Yeah.
would take that small segment that won't
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the obvious, propaganda or whatnot,
Mhm.
and be like, okay, we're going to coerce you with this while you're unconscious.
But then I think there's always some small segment of the population that just it doesn't work on them, or it doesn't work the same way, because we're not all exactly the same.
Mm.
We have enough variability into us that what works for 90% of us doesn't work for that other 10%, and 3% of that 10%, yeah, it works less for them, and so you've always got this variability. So, but if you could control what you're thinking, you're basically making a matrix sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it would just be the Matrix. Have you had the chance to found the Matrix? Would you?
Found it, not find it, found it, created.
Yes. Be
Well,
the
I
name
mean,
behind Steve Iacabo started the Eternal
It-
Dad started the Matrix.
It didn't. I mean, the Matrix in the movie we're talking,
was created by robots.
or it was created for another purpose that then got. I think the storyline has got its own sentience and went on the warpath against humans. I think is how the storyline goes. So
Right.
it wasn't created to give humans something to do. It wasn't created as a vacation spot. It was created as a device that just kind of decided to, if I get the storyline right, basically conquer the humans. Is I think how the storyline is.
But still, just if
Somebody correct that if I'm wrong about the Matrix storyline.
the idea behind the Matrix is you get plugged in and you are put into an alternate
Right.
universe. If you had the chance to be like, hey, you are the person that could start this and make a ton of money, and
I think that would be cool. I do think that would be cool.
you would go for that?
Yeah, I would do that. I mean, in a non-violent or non-threatening way, but yeah, I think that could be, if used properly, a tool that could help people.
Mm-hmm.
Could help them relax when they need to relax. It could maybe help them experience things they wouldn't be able to have a chance to experience. So I think it could be used as a tool. Now, anything can be
I
distorted.
was gonna say that sounds like what it was originally
Right,
intended
but
for.
maybe it was. But anything can be distorted.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with tapping into your brain and just giving you this, as long as anytime you want, you can also tap out and say, hey, no, we're done here now. No.
Interesting.
The brain is just an organ like anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's far more complex than we think, but it's still just
And we think it's
we
complex.
think it's complex. But it's still just a physical organ, so
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would. If I was given the chance to be like, you are the person that could be the founder of the Matrix, I think I'd probably just be like, no.
alright, well.
Use those resources for something else.
Make your own space company and go into orbit.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
That's boring.
Just a thought.
I don't want to go into orbit. I go into orbit when you can spend that money and just make a bunch of underground tunnels and control everything from underground. Way more fun.
Okay.
That's an interesting idea for a fiction novel?
Controlling things from underground. Been done. The Underminer.
Yes. No, having. You have the
Wow, what a big phone you have.
the case makes it bigger.
Your phone's bigger than my phone.
Yes.
That's just wrong.
Can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
You have like the I don't know if it's dystopian, but like the villain of the big company that's in the shadows controlling everything.
Yep.
It happens in Hitman. It happens in a bunch of different things. It happened in Black Widow. Good movie, by the way. Go watch that. But I think it'd be a very interesting story idea if you had a company that is based in like a satellite or like an orbital something that's controlling things, and you also have a company that is this huge underground world-spanning network that's also controlling, and they're like fighting to both control the different major organizations.
One
and
from space
countries.
and one from under the ground.
Yeah. Both of them technically have, the resources to cover the entire planet and control the entire planet, but because the other company is there also trying to do that same thing with just as many resources but from a different angle, and they can't directly attack each other for two reasons. One, that would show both of them to the world because they're supposed to be secret. And two, the above ground people can't, the sky people can't hit below ground without drilling going through the ground, and you gotta hit something else before you get to the ground.
Yeah.
And the underground people can't launch something into the air without, launching it through the air. And the ground is controlled by one and the air is controlled by the other, so they really can't touch each other. The only way they can compete is through control of the land countries and the land resources.
Maybe that's what's happening now. Maybe that's it. I think you've started a new conspiracy theory. I like it.
It's not enough to back it up, though.
It's a conspiracy theory. It doesn't have to be anything to back it up.
I mean, even the flat earthers think they have things that back them up. I don't have anything that can back this up.
Maybe you dreamt it.
No.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that would be a really cool story. Somebody go make that into a story. That'd be cool.
And come back with this before the hour's over.
No. Hey, we got 25 minutes. That's stupid.
They're good. Smarter than
Which would you choose?
Chocolate chip, I think.
It's not one of the options.
What was the options?
What were we just talking about?
Oh, we haven't segued yet.
No.
Oh, I thought we segued onto a new topic and I missed it. That happens a lot. Which would like to be the Sky King or the Underground people?
Yeah.
We could give them names.
What should the names be?
I don't know. Underground people and Sky people. I think that's really creative. Really.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Which would I be? Which would I want to be?
Do you think one has the advantage over the other?
Well, it depends on what kind of technology they had. I mean, offhand, sky, if you're in the sky, you're more easily detectable, right? It's kind of hard for me to probe the ground. I'm going to run into rocks. There may be stuff the scanning can't get through. And so, on the other hand, we do have cloaking technology in the sky, so you can't see me. I mean, how much, what's our technology level? So, I would rather be the ground people, I think.
Why?
Because it would be easier for me to go from ground to sky than the other way around.
Why do you think that?
Sky's big.
Mm-hmm.
Sky is big. Compared to the surface of the surface of the Earth is relatively small compared to the sky.
I mean, they're
So-
pretty proportionate to each other.
Well, there's a lot of space out there. There's a lot of space, you know. I mean, when we're talking sky, I'm not talking just orbit. I mean, like I could have something behind the moon, right? Because it's kind of all
Yeah.
up there. There's a lot of space up there. So it's easier for me to get something from the ground up where the other sky people couldn't see it than it would be for them to get something down.
That's true.
They couldn't detect it. It's like, okay, maybe you could hide it for a while, but
Yeah,
how are you going to keep it hidden long?
right.
So,
Same thing with the other way around, though. If they're controlling even 90% of the sky, you can't be hiding it forever because
Well-
they're gonna be patrolling it and finding it.
I'm just thinking the sky is just so big, but I mean, it depends on how tight a blanket they have around the planet,
Exactly.
right? If they're really watching it, say it's ringed with satellites, yeah, tough to get something up there. Okay, so, yeah. Again, depends on the technology level and all that.
Pick a technology level. Go for it.
Um,
What technology levels would give one the advantage over the other?
well, cloaking definitely would. If you could not detect anything in the sky by radar or pretty much any means,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're kind of invisible.
Yeah.
That's a huge advantage. That would give the sky dwellers a huge advantage. So
Wouldn't the ground people also be kind of invisible from what you said earlier, being hard to detect things on the ground?
right. So yeah, at best you've now evened it out, or you've given the sky people a huge advantage. I mean, depends on how But I think that's the sky people's weak point right now. Without
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Without that. However, if I were the sky and I wanted to come down, I would probably not establish a base on land, but rather under the ocean,
Okay.
because there's a lot of room under the ocean.
Yeah.
So, if we could establish something in the ocean and keep it quiet,
Yeah.
that could be beneficial. Or a base under the ocean.
But then you wouldn't be the sky people, would you?
Oh, sure, I would. Just with a remote base under the ocean.
All right.
Then I could be the sky people and the ocean people. The
But
ocean
then-
people.
But then the underground people could also pretty easily get into the ocean.
They could, but that's again now it's like a reconnaissance thing. Well, are they? What are they doing? Right? What's in the ocean that's going to help them control the world? Resources, maybe.
Submarines.
Yeah. Submarines.
If, you,
Okay.
if you're the if you're the underground people
Yeah.
and your entire navy just consists of nuclear submarines, you can sink pretty much anything.
Oh yeah, totally. Submarines are amazingly dangerous. But what makes them dangerous is this: you don't know where they are.
Mhm.
Again, they're kind of cloaked.
Yeah.
Right? They're just cloaked by an ocean, but they're kind of cloaked. So it all goes back to that. If you can't find me, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Hello, world.
Do you think if neither, just start the scenario if neither of them were controlling the ocean,
Okay.
and both of them in the same minute go, oh, we'd have a huge advantage if we had like an Atlantis base. Who do you think would be able to establish that first?
Do they have equal technology levels?
Yes. Because right off the bat, it's pretty even because the sky people will be able to drop things from the sky, but the land people are already underground
Right.
and just be able to transport stuff, you know.
The ocean comes with its own set of problems, though. One of them is pressure,
Yeah, well, I'm not.
right? So the sky people might have an advantage because they have to learn to live, obviously, in different pressured environments.
Yeah.
Where the land dwellers may not.
But they're not land dwellers, they're underground.
Okay, but are they
There is a
living-
lot of pressure underground. You'd have to have a lot of technology to be able to build bases underground and not have it collapse on you.
No, that's true too. So maybe, yeah, no.
Granted, you do have to the space. You don't necessarily have to keep it airtight when you're underground.
Right.
And when you're in the sky, you definitely have to keep it airtight so you can still breathe. So that'll be an advantage because you already know how to do that.
Well, here's the thing. I think the land dwellers would have an advantage because they could just expand their
Borders.
borders right under the ocean,
Yeah.
and you'd never know because they're staying on the crust of the earth. They're just so. I think that would be an advantage. They could even be doing it. I mean, I'm not even sure they would need to come up with this great idea. It's like, well, it's obvious. We're just going that way and going to the ocean. So I think they'd have the advantage
Do
there.
you think it would be possible? There's a plot point for that story of whoever's writing it. That the underground dwellers end up building a big underground base right underneath the ocean.
Yeah.
And as they're about to start expanding it to be in the ocean, like through the water and stuff, so they're coming up through the ground into the ocean. As they're about to do that, they learn, oh, right on top of where our base is, these sky dwellers now have an underwater outpost that they put right here. They didn't know we were here.
A huge advantage.
They put it right here. But we didn't know they were right there either. So they ended up accidentally building
Right on top of each other?
right on top of each other. What would happen?
I think the ground dwellers would take advantage of that situation because they'd find out first. Pretty sure they'd find out first. Unless, of course, all the racket they made drilling and banging getting there set off some kind of alarms in the outpost.
Yeah.
Why is it so noisy out there all of a sudden? Oh, look at that. So, I don't know. I guess you could play that either way. I can't see how they could keep it quiet.
No.
They
couldn't.
would be detected. They would
You
have to be.
couldn't.
They can't see how they'd keep it quiet,
Even
especially if they didn't know.
Yeah.
If there was no reason for them to try to keep it quiet.
Keep it. Let's not make any earthquakes or anything.
Right.
But you
We're
don't
gonna
necessarily
make
have to keep
noise.
it quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're under the ocean.
Right,
Who has
it
to
was-
be quiet under the ocean?
Right. So the air dwellers with their base would probably detect it. Yeah. Now that being said, I think it would be hard for the
Air dwellers to build a base without.
without being detected, because if I've got that much control of the surface of the planet, as soon as you come into the atmosphere, I'm going to know you're there, and I'm going
Right.
to track you, and I'm going to see exactly where you went down.
Right.
So,
But the same.
unless
the-
you're cloaked. Now, if
same-
you're cloaked, then I
The
can't see you.
same
It's
goes
automatic.
either way. You got the underground people watching the skies for everything, and you have the sky people watching the ground for everything.
Yeah.
Where will they pop up? Where will they come down from? So they're both watching the
Right, but you've got the same thing now where we have fighters and planes that can go into other countries' territories and not be detected. So it's a battle of technology again. Can I make it through the atmosphere, making a small enough noise that you'll think it's just noise, or you won't notice it, or
Yep.
you won't care?
Yep.
Because if I can do that, I can get a ship down there.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm in.
Yep.
That's all about cloaking. That's all
And,
about.
and the other way around, a great way for the underground people to cloak is just make it look like you're part of this country or this company or this, disguise yourself.
Yeah.
Because in this scenario, they both control about half of the countries and companies in the world, a little like puppet masters or whatever. So they both have things they can disguise themselves as.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that evenly matched, you got to wonder what's the end game.
Control over everything.
Control over
Obviously.
everything. Okay.
The end game's always control. Whenever you have big bads like that, the end game is always control. You just want as much control as possible.
That seems like such a waste, though.
People do it
What do you-
IRL.
Well, yeah, they do, but what do you do when you get it?
They don't think that far.
All right, you got it. Here, you win. So what? It's like, now what?
Now you gotta keep control.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Almost nobody ever gets to the now what phase.
Right now, nobody gets to now what phase.
Do you know who got to the now what phase? Bezos. He got to the now what phase and was like, I'm going to retire and go to space.
Yeah, right. I mean, they did.
But usually when you get to the now what phase, the now what is, well, what's bigger? What else can I get? What else can I control? Alexander the Great did that. He conquered Greece and then was like, well, what else can I control? And he just kept expanding and expanding and expanding.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan did that and just kept going and kept going, and it didn't stop until he died. And then it kind of all fell apart.
Well, also, they never actually got the whole planet, though.
I know, but they
But,
still
no.
got
They
their
got far. But,
their
yeah.
their goal was
Yeah.
as much as possible.
I guess there's never. You can never get everything. Let's say you get the whole planet, and now I want the moon.
Exactly.
I get the moon. Now I want Mars. Now-
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess it just keeps going.
It just
so.
keeps going to how
Sure.
much can you control. Which begs the question, why do you want that much control? What is missing in your life that you think you need that much control over something?
Yeah, I don't know. One of my greatest revelations is I'm really not in control of anything. Very freeing. Very freeing.
Stressful but freeing.
Not really. Not as stressful as you think.
I think it's both. On one hand, whoops. On one hand, you could drop things and hope they don't break. On the other hand, you could not drop things and know they won't break.
I was trying to say you could not drop things. Yeah, right. Or drop things and know they will break.
I really prefer not to.
But your point is
What was my point?
Australia.
No.
No idea. Let's see what Karen's did. Ignoring us.
Yes. What was I saying?
Why would anyone want to control everything?
No, we're talking about that, and then you're... the freeing thought of I'm not in control.
Oh yeah.
I say both sides of that. One side of that is definitely, if you're not in control, you don't have to try to control anything. You are much more generally you have the chance to be a lot more relaxed now because you can't control anything. But on the flip side of that, you can't control anything. Literally nothing you do will be able to control anything, and I can totally understand why that stresses people out.
I think it only stresses you out if you want control.
No.
Because if you
No.
don't want
No.
it and you don't have it, you've got what you want.
No. You can not want control,
Yes.
but be convinced that you need control.
Oh, that's different. Okay. Yes. I'm thinking you understand you do not want it and you do not need it. At that point, and you don't have it, you've actually got what you want and need.
Yes.
It's like perfect.
At that point, in that scenario, it would be
Yeah,
free.
like, yeah, that's perfect. That's what I want to get to.
But there's a lot of people who be like, I don't want to have control of everything, but I feel I need to control certain aspects of things, but I can't. And that stresses them out because they don't want to, but they feel they have to.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one.
Okay,
Nothing. Got nothing for that one. Oh, it's 22:22.
that's the average watch time.
Well, then never mind.
It's 7:51. Or 1951, according to this.
1951. I don't know what happened in 1951.
Let's look up what happened in 1951. What happened in 1776? What happened in 1951?
Congress passed the 22nd Amendment limiting a president to 2 terms. Great. Stalin claims the Soviet Union has the atomic bomb, and something else happened that I missed.
This is called babyboomers.com 1951 Events and Facts. North Korean offensive pushes beyond the 30th parallel. Truth negotiations fail. You're getting a phone call.
I am, but we're going to wait on that one right there.
Julius and Ethel Rosenberg convicted of passing U.S. nuclear secrets to the Soviet Union. Both are sentenced to death.
Oh, the Rosenbergs. Yes. I remember that.
Russian spies?
Um,
Questionable Russian
I
spies?
think they were actually developers of the bomb or had some part in it
Okay.
and felt that it was too important for one country to have.
Oh.
And so they're like, kind of like, what's his name? Him. It'll come to me in a second.
Einstein?
No.
Thanos.
No. Think more recent. Living in Russia, I think is in Russia. Security information guy.
Oh.
Him.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about, yeah. I don't remember his name, though.
Yeah, him.
It's not Twitch.tv.
No.
Hold on.
I can't hear his name. It was,
That's copied. I know who you're talking about. I don't remember the name
I'm
of
trying
it
to think of his
either.
name. Wait, I'll get his name. Don't tell me. I know you're all out there rushing to tell me. But,
I just sent it to you
oh, thank you.
on Discord.
Fabulous. What's his name?
I don't remember his
But you
name.
know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking
Okay,
about. Yes,
him.
I know who you're talking
It's
about.
like him.
Okay.
Do you think he's a good guy or a bad guy? I mean, he didn't really say anything. He's kind of warning people, sort of ish. I don't know. Yeah, you know.
I don't know. I don't think he's a bad guy because I don't think he has bad intentions. A lot of bad guys have either evil or control intentions. But if your intentions are to limit or get rid of control,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can be considered a bad guy. Unless you are
Well, I think
in the
that
exact
depends.
opposition.
I think that depends on who's doing the considering.
Exactly. Exactly.
I guess very much depends on who's doing the considering there.
Now, I can totally see if somebody is against me and they're like, you need less control and da-da-da. I don't think they're a bad guy, but they would be my adversary. Because they are in direct contention against me. I wouldn't
Alright,
consider them a
okay,
bad
yeah.
person,
I mean, you
but
can
they
have-
would be my adversary.
No, I agree with that. You can have an adversary who you don't consider a bad person.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I mean, sports is what that's all about, right?
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, right? You're playing the opposite team. They're not evil people. They just want to score more points than you.
Yes.
So, that's totally fine. I think you can do that in other things, too. That makes sense. So...
In 1951, mass production of penicillin reaches an all-time high.
Penicillin, excellent. That stuff turned me purple when I was 3.
Electricity generated from nuclear power for the first time.
Hmm.
Wait, it turned you purple when you were
It
3?
did. It turned out they found that I was allergic to penicillin by giving me penicillin.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know you were allergic
I
to
turned
penicillin.
purple. The doctor goes, never seen that before. Your grandma freaked out. And 12 days later, I got better.
You're purple for 12 days.
That's what got. Ask your grandma. That's
You're
what
purple
she said.
for 12
Yep.
days.
Yeah, I turned purple. She said, and the doctor. Yeah, we've never seen this reaction before.
Holy
Okay.
crap.
I think it was 12 days, something like a couple of weeks or something, and splotches of purple all over me. And
That's funny. It's like you
it
bruised
was,
all
right?
over
Yeah,
the
it was
place.
at that point where they discovered, oh, this guy's allergic to penicillin. So I haven't had it since.
No.
Obviously, it didn't kill me, but
Joe
was free.
DiMaggio announced his retirement from baseball in 1951.
Wow, Jolt and Joe DiMaggio,
Also, apparently the New York Giants are a baseball team,
they were.
and then they just decided we're gonna play football now.
I think the New York Giants may have dissolved as a baseball team or something.
Okay.
Because the Boston Red Sox started off, I think, as a Providence team.
Really?
Yeah. Look up history of the Boston Red Sox.
All right, one moment.
Who are you getting texts from?
No, I'm sending a text. I'm also turning the lights back on, but I got distracted. There we go. Alright, let's go down because the World Series was won New York versus New York. In
You're right.
1951, which is kind of interesting. Arts and entertainment. I Love Lucy was in 1951.
I Love Lucy started in 1951?
I believe that's what this is saying.
Wow, I didn't know that. That was a long time ago. Okay.
The Catcher in the Rye was published in
I
1951.
never actually read that book.
Neither have I. Color television was introduced in 1951. First color broadcast transmitted from CBS in New York.
Wow, and the cost of gasoline was 19 cents a gallon.
Can I have that? Can I have 19 cents a gallon gasoline?
No, it's actually at a 7-year high right now.
I know.
And it's far above 19 cents a gallon.
It's $3.19
Right,
a gallon.
I know. I know.
The King and I opens on Broadway. Robert Frost published a poetry collection.
That I did not.
And
suppose.
Carl Sandburg also published a poetry collection. And they're titled the same exact thing.
What was it called?
Complete Poems.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine. It's kind of, I don't know,
Oh, that's interesting. In response to growing popularity of television,
Yes.
movie theaters experiment with a variety of attractions, including widescreen projection and 3D effects.
Yeah, 3D movies never really went anywhere.
Yeah, they still exist.
Yeah, they never really went anywhere.
Yeah.
You used to have to wear glasses. You still do.
Robin Williams, Sting, and Sally Ride were all born in 1951.
All right.
All right, we're looking at the history of the Red Sox.
Right.
Boston Red Sox. Let's go to Wikipedia.
Oh, that's an authoritative source. All right, let's go there.
I mean, we can go to MajorLeagueBaseball.com.
There you go.
This website takes much longer to load. Aha!
All right, let's see here.
Well, this isn't what I'm looking
It's
for.
really not what we're
It's
looking
just
for here.
stats and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, that's not what we want. Learn more. Let's learn more. There we go. 1901.
Well, let's just talk about. Wow, there is. Oh, okay. There's more. But still, it's not a
Franchise timeline. Let's go with that one.
franchise timeline.
That's where you are.
This. It's just talking about things happening.
1920, Babe Ruth was sold to New York Yankees. Yes, he used to play for the Red Sox. People
Really?
don't realize that. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Red Sox used to be good.
They were at one time. And then Babe Ruth cursed them. And that's
Really?
why that was where the curse came from.
Really?
Yeah, I believe it was Babe Ruth's curse. He
Huh.
cursed them. And they said they wouldn't win for 100 years, but they won after 87 years. So.
After
I
87?
think it was 87 years they hadn't won a World Series or something like that. Yeah.
That's funny. Let's see.
So it was almost a curse. It was kind of like a junior apprentice curse. You know. It wasn't really-
Okay. American professional baseball team based in Boston. Red Sox complete in Major League Baseball as
Oh, it was Babe Ruth I was thinking of. Look up the history of Babe Ruth.
history of Babe Ruth.
Yes, that's where you want to go. Look up the history of Babe Ruth.
Okay. Name Red Sox was chosen by John I. Taylor after the 1907 season.
And why did he pick Red Sox?
Refers to the red horse in the team uniform beginning in 1908.
Ah,
Sox has been previously adopted by the Chicago White Sox and other places. The team name Red Sox had previously been used as early as 1888 by a colored team from Norfolk, Virginia.
I'm not sure how socks and horses really work out there. Horses.
Red Hose.
Oh,
my
Red
bad.
Hose.
Not
Got
horse.
it.
I
I'm like,
can't.
is it-
I can't read.
I'm like, there's no R in that
apparently.
word. I get it. Okay.
Red Hose, not Red Horse.
Look up Babe Ruth. He's
Babe
far
Ruth.
more interesting.
Babe Ruth. History
Um,
of Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth retires.
well, yes, we knew that, but
She retired on June 2nd, apparently.
okay. So scroll down a bit.
This is just his retirement.
You want to go? Go. There we go.
It's like the biography, stats, and facts.
Named George Herman Ruth, also called the Bambino, the Babe,
The Sultan of Swat.
SWAT.
SWAT or SWAT?
SWAT.
SWAT or SWAT?
SWAT.
Why is it SWAT?
Because you swat a baseball. You don't swat a baseball. Born in February 1890.
Wait, that's a baseball reference?
I think so. Born in February 6, 1895 in Baltimore, Maryland, and died in 1948
Wow.
in New York.
He's old.
He is one of the best known athletes of baseball ever.
He's one of the best known athletes ever. The legend that he was an orphan is untrue.
He was not an orphan, but it makes for a good story.
Yes.
Let's see here. He obtained the nickname the Babe when a sports writer referred to him as one of Dunn's Babes. Jack Dunn in 1914. Wow, he was 6 feet tall. I didn't realize he was so big.
Weighed more than 200
I did not
pounds.
realize such a big guy.
Holy crap. It was sold to Major League Baseball at the end of the 1914 season.
He was sold to the Red Sox.
Sold to the Boston Red Sox. And there is some more information about, I think, his future wife or something. The best left-handed pitcher in baseball. I did not know he was
Well,
left-handed.
there you go.
Between 1915 and 1919, he won 87 games.
Wow, and he pitched 29 and 2/3 consecutive shutout innings. That's a lot.
Yeah. He's known for playing for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. But he did play for the Red Sox.
Interesting. In 1920, Harry Frazee?
Sure.
Phrase?
Phrase?
The team owner of the Boston Red Sox and a producer of Broadway plays who was short of money sold Ruth to the New York Yankees for $125,000 plus a personal loan from Yankee owner Jacob Rupert. While initially reluctant to leave Boston, Ruth signed a 2-year contract with the Yankees for $10,000 a year.
And that was what year?
He was reluctant to leave Boston.
1920.
Some guy was short on money, so he's like, I'm going to sell my best baseball player to a rival team.
Pretty much.
And Babe Ruth was like, I don't want to. And then they're like, we'll pay you. And he's like, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I guess. That's funny. He was a full-time outfielder with the Yankees.
Right, he didn't pitch at the Yankees. Because they found out he was a better hitter than a pitcher.
Interesting. Emerged as the greatest hitter to have ever played the game.
Exactly.
That is the Sultan of SWAT. Okay.
He slammed out 59 home runs and drove in 170 runs in the 1920 season.
Wow. In 1922, which is 2 years later,
His salary jumped to
his salary
52.
jumped to $52,000, making him by far the highest paid player in baseball at the
Wow.
time. It's an interesting sentence. That summer, he and Helen, I'm guessing is his wife,
Yeah.
appeared in public with a new daughter, Dorothy, who is apparently the result of one of his many sexual escapades. 41 home runs in 1923. Wow.
So he was an amazing baseball player. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just thought that would be interesting to share.
Huh.
But didn't do a very good job sharing it. You read it quietly.
You read it quietly. You were the one reading most of it. And you'd be like, oh, wow. And I'd have to ask you what it was.
I think what's really going on is I think we've dreamt this.
Do you
this
think we
entire
dreamt this?
podcast,
Have we dreamt
we've
this
dreamt.
whole podcast?
That's all I got.
I'm gonna sing about dreams.
Ooh, that'd be weird.
Do it.
Sing your dreams.
Sing about dreams.
Dreams.
You're playing the guitar, you gotta sing. You need an outro song about dreams now. Be Phil Vischer, summarize the entire podcast in song.
I'm not sure I'm that talented.
Just make it up, that's fine.
We sang about dreams. We talked about dreams, and baseball. That's all I got.
You suck.
Never said I was good at this.
You're not even trying.
That's a G right there.
Alright.
That's all I got. It's the best G I've got.
Well,
It is 8:08 or 8:10. I think it's 8:10.
8:10. It's 8:10.
We've been doing this for an hour and 10 minutes.
That G was grrr. It sucked. But what song are you playing?
I'm not telling you. If you can't figure it out, then
Come
fine.
on. I have to go ask Bunny what song it is.
I'll play it super slow for you. Here you go. And if you listen slowly.
Don't know it. I legit do not know.
Been doing this for months.
Yes, and I recognize the tune as a song I should know because I recognize the tune. I can hum along to the tune.
That was like half speed.
yeah.
It was okay.
But if you play it, yeah, I know the song.
I know.
but I just don't know what it is.
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to
It's like
figure it out.
I was preemptively humming every single note you played
Well,
there.
we're playing it for 6 months.
Right, but
maybe you don't really know it, but you know it.
I.
I'm just not playing it good enough. I think that's what it is.
No,
I'm
I
just
think
not playing
it's
it good
just
enough.
my brain is just stupid. I think you're playing it fine.
No, well, anyway.
I bet you.
Oh, I can check off practice guitar today.
I bet you if I knew the song,
Yeah.
I could start singing along to it
Yes, you could.
because you're playing it well enough for me to be able to sing along to.
Well, then we will have to do this every Friday until you can guess what the song is.
I'm never gonna get it. It's just not gonna pop up. I'm gonna have to like somehow hijack your Spotify playlist and just like listen to everything.
Don't forget, it's only the chords.
So
I mean, you can still sing to it. It's just, it's not like every single word. It's
well, yeah, that's you don't write music to every single word that you sing.
sometimes you do,
Not often.
not often.
Usually the lyrical melody and the musical melody are written to accent each other, not be a carbon copy of each other.
Does this help?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On that note,
Stylizing your play.
on that chord,
On that chord,
We're
on
outta
that
here.
note, thank you everybody for watching.
thank you for
and
wasting an hour and 15
listening
minutes
to
of your lives with
this
us.
episode of The Stream of Consciousness, a Rubber Mushroom podcast. I'm Sturl Silver Cube, I think.
You got what?
I am slurring my words. I am in a dream. You may or may not be in a dream. Tune in next time to see whether or not your dream
I
came
think this whole
true.
episode was a dream. I really do.
You're a dream.
I can be. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.